Dear friends, dear class, today we'll start Module 4, Chapter 4, Class 10, Gears and Gear Trains. In this class, we'll discuss only about gears. In the next class, we'll discuss about gear trains. I am Assistant Professor Manjunatha E., Mechanical Engineering Department, DITM Ballari. Let's start the class. Content in this class, what we'll discuss about introduction to gears, history of gears, types of gears, gear terminology, advantages and limitations, application of gears. Before we start the introduction to gear, why gears? Now in the previous class, we discussed about belts, ropes, and chains. If belts are there, ropes are there, chains are there, then why we require gears? Obvious question is why we need gears? Can belts cannot be used? Why don't we use gear? Why don't we use chains? Even in belts, we have open belt drive is there. There's a flat belt drive is there. There's a V belt is there. The cross belt is there. There are chains are there. There are ropes are there, which are used for power transmission. Then, why gears are necessary? Do gears are really required? Obviously, yes, the gears are required. Why the gears are required means the slip and creep in the belt or the rope drives is a common phenomenon. That means a slip and the creep in the belt cannot be eliminated, but it can be minimized. In the transmission of power, if there is a creep is there, then the failure of the belt will take place. If the slip is there, then the loss of power will take place. Between the two shafts, the effect of slip is to reduce the velocity ratio of the drive. In precision machines, in which definite velocity is important, example in watch or any other machine, then the only positive drive is by means of gears or toothed wheels. That means if you want to have positive drive, the only what you can say we have is gears. Let's start the introduction of gears. Gears are used to transmit motion from one shaft to another or between a shaft and a slide. It is a higher pair of mechanism. Gear uses to intermediate link or connector and transmit the motion by direct contact. And the obvious question is the function of gear. The gear is a tooth element. These tooth are mounted on a wheel which rotates and transmits motion. The basic function of a gear is to transmit rotary motion as well as power from one shaft to another. Gear can also be used to amplify the power. Almost in every machine where speed control is needed, gears are used. Obvious example is automobile. Automobile in which we use gear for transmission of power. How can you imagine an automobile revolution without gears? When you are moving the vehicles, whether it's a car, bus, or any other vehicle, two-wheeler, do not move at a constant speed. They vary the speed according to the traffic, according to the various other reasons, and for those purpose different velocity is required, different torque is required. If you want to climb the hill, you need high torque, low speed. If you are moving in a traffic, you require low speed. If you are on a highway, you require high speed. So all those things only the satisfied or meet the demand is gear. Another thing about the gears is if you want to transmit a motion over a very long distance, then ropes are used. Take example cranes. They lift a huge amount of load. If the distance is intermediate, then we use belt drives. It can be a flat belt or a V belt. If the distance is slightly less, then we use chains. If the distance is very less, then we use gears. Going to the next one, history of gears. The history of gear, the one that is recorded in the history is of 27th century BC, that is 2700 BC. In China, they used in a chariot. The chariot is known to pointing to the south, no matter how it is turned. So that is the use of the gear. Then, with the invention of the milling machine, led to the industrial revolution of the present day gear technology. These are the types of gear we have: worm gear, helical gear, double helical gear, bevel gear, meter gear, rack and pinion, internal gear, spur gear. We will discuss about the types of gear in detail in the coming slides. Types of gear. All the three major categories of gears in according to the orientation of the axis: parallel axis, intersecting axis, non-intersecting axis. In parallel axis, the gears are spur gear, helical gear, gear rack, internal gear. In intersecting gear, we have meter gear, straight bevel gear, spiral bevel gear. Non-parallel or non-intersecting axis, we have screw gear, worm gear, worm wheel. Gear terminology. Now we go to the gear terminology. In gear terminology, we will discuss about what are the important things are there on a given gear. You can see another diagram of a gear terminology. Gear module. You can see in this diagram, reference diameter, the number of teeth. First one shows the reference diameter, second one shows the number of teeth. M equals 1/2. Module is the unit of size that indicates how big or small a gear is. It is the ratio of the reference diameter of the gear divided by the number of teeth. Thus, M equal to D/Z. Module equals reference diameter divided by number of teeth. The mutual relationship between the module and the reference diameter, etc., is as follows. Reference diameter D equals M/Z. Reference diameter equals module into number of teeth. Number of teeth Z equals D/M. Number of teeth equals reference diameter by module. Reference pitch P equals pi m. Reference pitch is equals pi into module. Continue. What is the reference pitch? It is the equal to circumference divided by number of teeth. Reference pitch equals circumference pi d divided by number of teeth. You can see 1, 2, D and 3. 1 is the circumference, 2 is the reference pitch, 3 is the diameter. Then what is the reference circle? Assume that there are two friction pulleys in contact. Those diameter are equal to the reference diameter. As the surface are smooth, the rotation will not go properly when great force is applied. This problem will be solved if there are teeth on the periphery of the friction pulley, and thus is the concept of gearing. You can see in this diagram. Friction pulley, reference circle. Both reference circle comes in contact. Summary: the model describes the size of the gear. The pair of the gear can only mesh correctly if and when the base pitch is the same. Face weight: the length of the gear teeth in axial direction. Base circle: it is the circle from where involute tooth profile is generated. Dedendum or root diameter: root diameter is the diameter of the gear at root circle or bottom teeth. Outside circle, you can see in this diagram, pitch circle, root circle, base circle. Pitch circle: it is the imaginary circle on a gear where mating gear meet with each other. Pitch circle diameter: diameter of the pitch circle is also known as pitch circle diameter. Addendum or outside diameter: it is the diameter of the gear at the top tip of gear teeth. Addendum: it is the height of the gear teeth above pitch circle. Dedendum: height of the gear teeth below pitch circle is known as dedendum. You can see clearance volume. This is dedendum, below addendum, above the pitch circle. Then we have the pitch circle, the space, width, tooth thickness. Tooth thickness, you can see in this diagram, it is the width of the tooth at pitch circle diameter. Tooth space, it is the distance between the two adjacent teeth at the pitch circle. Tooth face, surface of the tooth above the pitch circle. Flank of tooth, it is the surface of the tooth below the pitch circle. Top land, top tooth surface is also known as gear tooth land. Types of gear. First we'll discuss about spur gear. It is a cylindrical shaped gear in which the teeth are parallel to the axis, and it is the most commonly used gear in wide range of application and easiest to manufacture. You can see this is a spur gear. Parallel and coplanar shaft connected by gears are called spur gear. Spur gear have straight teeth and parallel to the axis of the wheel. The advantage of spur gear: they are simple in design, economic to manufacture, easy to maintain, observe and trust. Spur gear are also known as slow speed gear. Spur gears are most commonly used gears. Then we have helical gears. Helical gear have a teeth inclined at an axis of the shaft in the form of helix. Helical gear can take higher loads, and similar sized spur gear is similar to that of spur gear. Motion of the helical gear is smooth and quiet, and the angle of the helix on both gear must be same in magnitude but opposite direction. Right hand pinion meshes with left hand gear. These gears are usually considered as high speed gears. Bevel gear or meter gear. Intersecting between coplanar shaft connected to gear are called bevel gears. Straight bevel gear can be used on shaft at an angle, but right angle is the most common. You can see in this diagram, first one is spiral bevel gear. In this spiral bevel gear, the teeth are oblique, Spiral bevel gears are quieter and take up more load as compared to straight bevel gear. Then we have zero bevel gear. Zero bevel gear are similar to straight bevel gear, but their teeth are curved lightwise. These curved teeth of zero bevel gear are arranged in a manner that the effective spiral angle is zero. Worm gear. Worm gear are used to transmit power at 90 degrees and where high reduction are required. Worm gear, one gear has screw threads. Due to this, worm gear are quite vibration free and gives a smooth output. Worm gear and worm gears shafts are almost invariably at a right angle. You can see in this diagram. Internal and external gear. Internal gear is one with the teeth formed on the inner surface of the cylinder or cone. External gear is one with teeth formed on the outer surface of the cylinder or cone. Next we go for the application. The different application of gear teeth are spur gear, spur, helical and bevel gear. Gears are devices used throughout industry for variety of mechanical machines and systems. That means we use gears wherever the power has to be transmitted. Even an electric car having a gear, electric motor is connected to a gear. Without gears, you can't transmit motor directly to the wheels. Till now, still now we have not earned any replacement for gears. It seems that gears are almost irreplaceable in automobile industry. Gear devices. Several types of gears are available and employed in wide range of residential, commercial and industrial application including aircraft, automobile, clocks, marine systems, material handling equipment, measuring instrument, power plant, pumps. Spur gear. They are used in clocks, pumps, watering system, household appliances, cloth washing and drying machine, power plants, material handling system, aerospace and aircraft, railways and trains. Helical gears. Same as spur gear but with greater load and higher speed. Automobile transmission system. Bevel gears. Pumps, power plants, material handling systems, aerospace and aircraft, railways and trains, automobile. Worm gear. Instruments, lifts and elevators, material handling system, automobile steering system. Rack and pinion, weighing scales, material handling and transfer system, railways and trains, automobile steering system. Next we go for advantages of gear drives. It is a positive drive, hence velocity remain constant. Provision for changing velocity ratio can be made with the help of gearbox. Example in automobile. Efficiency is very high. It can be used even for low speed. Example, if you want to climb a hill in automobile, it can transmit high torque value. It is compact in construction. That is one of the advantages. Disadvantages of gears are they are not suitable for large velocities. They are not suitable for transmitting motion over a long distance. Due to the engagement of teeth wheel of gears, some part of machine may be permanently damaged in case of excessive loading. They have no flexibility. Gear operation is noisy. So these are the disadvantages. So we come to the conclusion of this class about gears. In this class about gears, we have talked about the introduction to gears. Gears are power transmitting devices over a very short distance. We also discussed about the history, then the gear terminologies, the types of gears, the application of gears, advantages and limitations. You have any kind of queries about this gears, do let us know us in the Google Classroom. We will or even in a YouTube channel. Do please comment on us. We try to answer ask if you ask any questions. Thank you very much. This will end the gears. In the tomorrow we'll discuss about gear trains.